Hello, everybody, and welcome to the webinar today. Thank you for joining us. My name is Michael Hamauka, and I'm the CTO of the Immersive Learning Research Network. And today I'm very happy to welcome our special guest, Miji Lee. She is the CEO and founder of Core Meta, a company dedicated to transforming education through XR. With a background in language teaching, Miji ventured into XR development, recognizing its potential as the future of learning. Under her leadership, Core Meta joined Meta's Oculus Start program in 2024 and achieved top 3 recognition in major hackathons, including the Meta Presence Platform Hackathon in the skill building category, that's in 2024, and the NASA Space Apps Hackathon in 2023. Her team is currently developing gamified, culturally immersive XR language learning experiences that make learning enjoyable and intuitive. Well, that sounds really amazing, and I'm really looking forward to learning more about Core Meta's learning platform and products. So with that, I would like to turn things over to you, Miji.
Great. Thank you so much, Michael, for having me. And it's a great pleasure and it's my honor to speak here. And I can't wait to share our information with you. So let me start. Hello, everyone. My name is Miji Lee. I'm CEO and founder of Core Meta and also language instructor. And we're living in a time of unprecedented change, not only in how we communicate, but how we learn. And to be honest, it can be a bit overwhelming. The pace of transformation we're experiencing is not like nothing we have seen before. And there are some other social phenomena that are happening right now that little concern me. For example, let me see. Our attention spans are declining and shrinking. In 2004, we could stay focused on one screen for about 2.5 minutes. Today, in 2025, the average is just about 47. At the same time, AI is advancing at light speed. We now have instant access to knowledge and even creative content. Things that used to take hours, days, or weeks, or even years. We've gotten so used to instant results that our cognitive and creative abilities are starting to take a hit. So it raises a really big, huge question. Is this the end of learning? Do we even need to learn anymore because all the knowledge we need is at our fingertip? Well, I disagree. In fact, I believe this is the moment where we must rethink education, and that starts with understanding the learners of today. We're now teaching digital natives, young people born into a world of smartphones, AI, and immersive technologies. They crave speed and stimulation. The younger generation thrive on quick information intake and multitasking interactive content over traditional methods. And they prefer rich visuals and immersive environments that turn education into an experience. And they're also familiar with XR technologies from an early age. Younger generations seek globally connected and tech-savvy learning adventures. And that's exactly where extended reality comes in. XR allows us to meet students where they already are in immersive digital spaces. Through VR, MR, and AR, we can create environments where learners move, speak, and interact, making the learning experience active and emotional and even more memorable. So considering all these factors, at Core Meta, our mission is to make learning exciting and fun because we believe that people learn best when they're motivated. And so we use the latest technology and game-like elements to help you enjoy learning. By combining culture and gamification, we aim to create engaging and immersive experience that makes you excited to learn new things and take full advantage of extended reality. And we call this principle at Core Meta, core learning. And how do we implement core learning? This is how we do it.
으이, 멍청이. 나 유원 달고나. 예스! 에. 이게 뭐야?
아, 어, 오. 새우, 새우. 파, 파. 밀가루,
Hello, Futurita Mae.
건져.
Welcome to the Multiverse Kaitenzushi, where you become a conveyor belt sushi chef in the multiverse.
타, 타, 마, 고.
세가이.君ならできるよ。
Meet 친구. 친구 is on your left palm, ready to talk about today's encouraging expression in Korean and more. To quit the app, say goodbye, 친구.
What is your name?
My name is Chingu, which means friend, 친구, in Korean. What's your name?
Can you tell me today's encouraging expression, please?
Today's encouraging expression. 꿈을 이루는 그날까지 함께 할게요. I'll be with you until you achieve your dream.
Thank you so much. That's amazing. Can you tell me what is your favorite Korean drama?
My favorite Korean drama is 오징어 Game, which is also known as Squid Game. It's a thrilling series that has gained international popularity.
What is your favorite song?
My favorite BTS song is 봄날, Spring Day, and my favorite Blackpink song is Lovesick Girls.
So, to explain further on the trailers, Core VR1, our first virtual reality application, offers unique experience that transport you to the heart of a traditional Korean Hanok village. From there, you can explore a futuristic interactive orb that teaches you the sounds of each Korean alphabet, and a shooting blast arena where you will use a laser blaster to shoot letters and gather ingredients for delicious Korean dishes in just 3 minutes. But beware, if you don't get the letters wrong, if you get red letters wrong, then you get roasted in Korean. And here are pictures of some of my students using Core VR1 in class to learn the alphabet. For most of it was their first time with an XRs, but they really enjoy the experience and want to have more diverse applications to learn in the future. And one of the memorable moments I had with one of my students was that as soon as she put her headset on and got into Core VR1, her face just lit up. And then I still cannot forget the moment. It was really a fond memory. And Core VR2 offers an immersive experience inside, now it's inside, before it was outside, and inside a traditional Korean hanok. By playing mini games like memory games and scavenger hunts and learning to cook Korean dishes, you naturally pick up Korean vocabulary and grammar. This fun and interactive approach makes language learning enjoyable and effective. It is currently in development. We hope to launch our first version by mid this year. And our third application, which was it was chosen to be top 3 in skill building at Meta Presence Platform Hackathon New York 2024. And it's called Multiverse Kaitenzushi, which means multiverse conveyor sushi belt restaurant, is a mixed reality game designed to teach you the Japanese alphabet. In this game, you become a sushi chef and set up a conveyor belt sushi restaurant in any space you would like. And as you identify the letters of Japanese sushi dishes on the conveyor belt and prepare sushi to serve multiverse customers, you will become master of the Japanese alphabet along with the sushi chef before you know it. And at the end of our trailer, we've included our AI integrated XR avatar from a mini hackathon project, exploring how we can use AI to keep us consistently motivated. So as you can see, by immersing yourself in virtual reality, mixed reality, or augmented reality that reflect culture and taking on roles such as chef, tourist, or shooter, you will learn language through experience rather than rote memorization. But of course, XR still comes with challenges. So the production is very time intensive. Designing new worlds or blending 2D graphics with 3D environments can be highly time consuming and highly resource intensive. And users often lose interest quickly when they encounter functional issues like poor hand tracking. Continuous user testing and iteration are essential. And I believe this is one of the key reasons why there are not extremely many successful XR applications out there, because tackling this issue is a very, very paramount. Also, hardware access barrier too. Hardware remains a barrier, as accessing XR experiences still requires purchasing specialized headsets, limiting widespread adoption. But here's the exciting part. These challenges are rapidly being solved. So,
Right, this isn't.
let me just quiet. Now, Meta's Project Orion revealed that Meta Connect 2024 introduced lightweight, affordable headsets that make XR more accessible than ever. Imagine learning vocabulary without needing sticky notes all around your house in XR. And as I've heard from CES and many conventions, AR headsets are becoming very, very popular, and the more companies are building these ones too. So XR will be here with everyone soon. Also, tools like this. Tool advancements are happening really fast too. Techniques like Gaussian splatting are making photorealistic asset creation much faster, and AI tools are drastically reducing time for animation and 3D modeling. And this one was a really, really exciting news as well. Microsoft Copilot, Muse AI, we're seeing tools like this that can create entire game world dynamically, opening the door to AI-generated educational adventures that change based on each learner's needs. So yes, it's a thrilling time, but one we must navigate very carefully. As an educator, I've thought deeply about our role in this rapidly changing world. Education is now more critical than ever. We are the filter. We must protect our students from misinformation, AI hallucination, and from shallow content. We must provide accurate knowledge, real-world insight, and the critical thinking skills that AI cannot replace. Just like the third industrial revolution replaced physical labor with machines, the AI era now challenges our intelligence, creativity, and judgment. We must guide students from merely receiving information to actively applying knowledge and critical thinking. We have to make them question it, apply it, and build upon it. Teachers play a critical role in helping students responsibly harnessing AI and XR tools in the right way. Therefore, educators are essentially in driving continuous adaptive learning in this transformative XR and AI era. So, again, the big question, is this the end of learning? Absolutely not. This is the beginning of smarter, deeper, and more interactive learning. We just have to keep asking ourselves, how do we keep our learners engaged? And us too. How do we use tools? How do we just not teach them, but utilize them? And how do we prepare us not just to survive, but to thrive in this new world? Thank you so much for listening, and thank you to our amazing team at Core Meta for dreaming big and working tirelessly to reimagine education for the future. Let's keep learning and let's make learning exciting. Thank you.
Wow. Yeah, thank you, Miji. That was really incredible to see all that. That's a really neat idea, the Kaitenzushi thing. I know a little bit of Japanese, so um but I could always learn more. Um if anybody has any questions for Miji, please type them into the chat there. And while people are typing, I have a kind of a few questions of my own, if that's all right.
Sure.
So first of all, what devices are you targeting with Core Meta?
So Core Meta is right now, we as part of Oculus Star program member, that's Meta's developers program, we're
Mhm.
targeting Meta Quest headsets. So mainly 2, 3, and a 3S, and especially for the Kaiten Sushi because it's mixed reality, it requires a 3S and also 3 as well.
Okay. And you showed pictures there of students using this. Is this available to people right now, or is it are you doing a beta program, or what kind of how do people get a hold of this if they're interested?
So Core VR1, which is a Korean alphabet learning game, it's available on Steam. It's free, so you can download it and then play anytime you would like. That was actually one of our more of an experience to really understand how to develop XR application into launch. But I do also use it with my students and also learn from them as well. And they also learn Korean alphabet through the experience.
Okay, cool. So Steam, you said, right?
Yes, it's on Steam.
Okay. And so are the other, so you said that the Core Meta 2 is or is later this year, I think you said that it's going to be released.
That's correct, Michael. So for Core VR2, and we will eventually have to have a better title than Core VR2 to actually to explain the audience what this is about. So in Core VR2, we can learn more of grammars and vocabulary, and we will be launching it on Meta Horizon, Meta Horizon stores. It's the same thing as Kaiten Sushi as well.
Okay, great. Um, in the Kaitenzushi, the Japanese, how do you handle, so in Japanese you've got the hiragana and katakana and kanji. How do you handle teaching those?
hmm So if I go back, maybe just I will go back to the screenshot a little bit here. So this one, what happened is that you take a role of sushi chef and you create a sushi restaurant around you. And you are given on this panel, you can't really see it here, but there's a UI panel that gives you an order from a multiverse. And this is basically the client who comes from multiverse dimension. And
Hmm.
then this person puts or this creature puts order. For example, tamago, which is egg in Japanese, and it shows up here. And what you do is that the Japanese letters that has on the sushi plate are spawned on this conveyor belt. And by interacting with it, you hold it, either you press the button or you hold it close to the ear, and then you will hear the sound. So you look at it, so you look at the visual and then you hear you practice listening, and you associate the letter and the sound together, and then
Mhm.
you create letters together. And if you place the letters accordingly on this chef table, very futuristic, cultural, sensitive chef table, and then if you press it, and if you repeat the order, let's say ta, ma, go, and then AI
Mhm.
actually picks it up, and if you get it correct, then you're given a sushi, and you can serve that to your customer. And there's for us right now, there are 6 levels,
Mhm.
and each going over the katakana and hiragana. And
Mhm.
eventually, hopefully, we can tackle kanji. That's a huge task, but
Yeah,
hopefully, we can in the future.
yeah, definitely. So let's see here. Again, if anybody has any questions, please feel free to type them into the chat window or the Q&A window. I don't think there's nothing in the Q&A window. But yeah, so what kind of tools are you using to develop?
So for mainly we use Unity.
Hmm.
So Unity for development, and also we use Blender and Maya to create 3D asset. Also, we all for engagement or UI UX walkthrough, wireframes and idea, we use Figma a lot.
Hmm.
Of course, we also use Adobe, and to create trailers like this, we use DaVinci, also OBS, and also of course MetaQuest headsets as well. And nowadays, I talk about AI and the use of AI. So we use a lot of for brainstorming and image conception. We use Sora, and we have used Midjourney and ChatGPT, all the tools that are available for us.
Hmm. And roughly how big, if you don't mind saying, how big is your team? Is it a large development team, or is it kind of a smaller agile team?
So, yes, so we are a team of about 14 people. So we have some developers and designers, UI, and then 3D model artists, and UI UX designer. We also have a researcher, and also I'm writing a book. So we have an illustrator and a translator, and then we are hoping to put that in XR space as well.
Oh, awesome. Cool. So is it a language learning book then, or is it
So the one that I'm working, actually, I forgot to mention that I'm a language instructor, but specifically I'm teaching Korean.
mhm.
And there were a lot of demands from my students. They're saying that they want to have some kind of reading book. So I'm actually writing a reading book with an illustrator. So she's doing the illustration. I'm hoping to publish this book within this year as well.
Oh,
And they're hopefully available on Amazon.
oh, wow, cool. All right, so we'll definitely keep an eye out for that.
Thank you.
And yeah, that's you got a lot of work you're doing this year.
Yes, I'm very busy this year actually, but I'm very, very happy. And this is XR I'm very extremely passionate about.
Uh-huh.
A lot of people are focusing in AI, but AI is more like a brain and XR is more like a body.
Hmm.
So the body has to come eventually. And I see huge potential in XR. And then we also talk with a lot of universities for collaboration. I talk to professors. I also give talks at some association conferences as well, and their interest is really high. It's just that some of the challenges I've mentioned, those are still there, but
Hmm.
they really believe in the potential in XR. Yes.
Awesome. Well, we do have some new comments here in the chat. Andre says, "Good job, Miji." So
Thank you, Andrew.
and yeah, no, this is really impressive. I wanna go learn some Korean and Japanese as well now.
Oh, yay! Great.
Um, yeah, no, well, I mean, there's so much interest in Korean language now, because of all the K-pop and the K-drama and food and everything over here. It's just the culture, our access to and our introduction to the Korean culture has expanded quite a bit, I think. And so I know I have several friends whose kids are huge K-pop fans and things like that. So
Oh, yes.
yeah.
This is
Um,
how we began. So, because I teach Korean language learning students, and then major reason they come into my class is because they're really passionate about the things that you have mentioned, and I felt that language learning is not an easy task. It's actually a journey. So in order for you to do that, you need to have a constant sort of a stimulant or some kind of motivation. And I thought that integrating culture into learning is extremely important when it comes to language, because language it's more of a tool to communicate and learn about culture, and the culture could be more of an end goal.
Mhm.
So I believe that this kind of environment can really stimulate and then motivate students to come in and then learn again and again.
Definitely. So Brighton has a question here. She asks, could you talk about your team's thought process in testing how effective these experiences are for learning?
hmm So of course, we start from brainstorming, and we usually think about what we are passionate about, and then we go from there, and then we put ideas. It's what are the tools out there that people actually do repetitively to, do things. And then language learning has to with the repetition as well. So we had to bring some, let's say, methods where has a lot of repetition, and then we tried to integrate that, but it becomes more of a seamless experience rather than just repetitive exercise that could be boring.
Mhm.
And we create that, and then we put gamification around it, and of course we test it. And we had first user testing when we were doing hackathon in New York. We did some testing. It was really great. And the second time we had in-person user testing there, and then we were getting feedback, really positive feedback as well. But the third one we had, the user testing, was remote, and we learned that we have a lot of work to do when it comes to UI UX. So that's one of the reasons why we talked about challenge. So we test by asking the users, is this user friendly? Does it help you to learn? And we get feedback from there, and then we iterate, and then we move on. We make improvements, and yes, and then we test it again until we
Mhm.
get it right.
Mhm. Can you give me an example of something that has changed in the product because of user feedback?
Actually, a lot of things happened. So the design that we already had at the beginning is not like this. Even the chef's table, it was not really interactive. So we had to make some changes to the design. For example, this here, it was not really clear whether when you have to press a button in order to speak, and also the UI to the instructions. Sometimes it was too wordy, so we had to shorten some of them. We had to also add some audio features because some people don't really read. And also one of the major things we had to change was at the beginning during the hackathon, we tried to allow the user to create conveyor belt as however they want. So this conveyor belt you can actually create in any shapes, from wall to wall, ceiling to floor. But then people were not really familiar with the process. So what we had to do was that because there are 6 levels, we are going to introduce this shape of conveyor belt gradually, starting from linear shapes to, let's say, a circle, circular, and to rainbow, and some obstacles in the end. They can create their own. So a lot of changes we had to make, and then that took actually some months.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, no, that's quite a bit.
Yes. So, I mean, UI UX, I think in Nextdoor, it's extremely important. And we are learning every single day by just experimenting and failing and succeeding in
Mhm.
some aspects.
You mentioned your experience of having a student put on a headset and their face lighting up. Was it just the the whole environment that got them to feel that way, or was there a particular part of the program that they were in when they were like that?
So that particular moment, it was as soon as put the headset on, we turned the core VR one.
Mhm.
And when she saw this digital world that she had never experienced before,
Mhm.
just her face lit up and she smiled. And I saw that, and usually they get really immersed into it. So, I mean, the whole experiences was only during that time around 5 to 7 minutes. And then these are young students, right? So around 13 or so. So I
Yeah.
didn't want them to spend too much time in their digital world. But yes, during that time, they were really immersed into it. They completely forgot about the external world, and they enjoyed it. So it was that moment as soon as they learned that there's a new world that exists that they had not known. And I think that was the moment that was really amazing.
Yeah, no, and that's got to be really encouraging as a developer and the head of the company to see that kind of reaction from something you've created.
Oh yes, definitely. I mean, the journey, actually, I'm a mom of three kids.
Oh,
And so I actually asked my little kids to try this and test it. And especially my girl loves this Multiverse Kaitenzushi. And she
mhm.
always asks me, Mom, can I try this? Can I try that? And then when are you going to be done with the game? It's the same as my other kids as well. So I'm actually creating for them as well because I want them to have good content. There are so many other toxic contents that are available in digital world, and I want to proactively create positive and very educational content so all the younger generations, including my kids, can actually feel good and learn things and have great experience from it.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Let's see here. I'm gonna look in the chat here. I don't know that we have any other questions, but one thing I like to ask sometimes is there something that I've missed asking you? Is there something that I should have asked you, or that you'd like to add on to what the discussion we've had so far?
Mm, I think people are focusing a lot on AI.
Hmm.
And I'd really like that. And I believe AI will really boost our XR development as well. So I'm really, really looking forward to it. But those people who might say, okay, XR, it's a bit expensive or it's a bit difficult. But I think the time where XR will be everywhere in our daily life will come sooner than later, and then you will come before you know it. And I love it. I really, if you're an educator, and if you are really into innovation and technology, I strongly recommend you to explore the potentials of XR. And if you would like to collaborate with me, just reach out to me. I'm always available.
Great. Oh, and we did get another question in the chat. So Yvonne asks, do you have any advice for educators intending to start building discipline-specific apps?
So it's really good questions. If you had asked me this question 2 years ago, I would have been, oh, this is so difficult. You can never do this alone. And it is still somewhat true. However, Meta, for example, they have created the Meta All-in-One SDK. And then also I've talked about all these AI tools and also XR tools that are available. So I recommend you starting into the tools that are available for you to start developing. Also, I've also heard about no-code platforms where you can create your XR applications. So start researching on tools like that, and also think deeply about your expertise. What's your specialty? What are you passionate about? And how can you visualize and make things reality in XR and with help of AI? I think these are the questions you have to ask yourself first, and if you have answers to it, just put them together, your ideas, and then utilize your tools as much as possible. It'd be great if it's teamwork. I love my team so much. They're always passionate. They're always innovative, and they put their ownership into what they do. So if you can build a team together, if you work together, that'd be awesome. But start from somewhere, just do it and ask a lot of questions, research, and you will get there.
Awesome. So you mentioned that if people are interested in contacting you to collaborate or whatever, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
The best way, I'm pretty active on LinkedIn.
Okay.
So you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm also checking my email all the time, mijili@coremeta.com. And we also have social platforms we are trying to grow. So we have, sorry, let me go through that. So we have LinkedIn, so we have Core Meta page. We're also trying to build Discord channel servers for our community. And we are trying to be active on Instagram and Thread and also YouTube as well. And then please check out our homepage too. We will have to update it a bit more, but we'll put a lot of contents as soon as we launch our applications.
All right, great. Well, if there aren't any other questions, I think we may be at our time. I really want to thank you again for coming. This has been amazing to see what you're working on, and I'm looking forward to trying out the Kaiten sushi for sure.
Oh, yes, yes. We will work very hard so that you can play it as soon as possible.
Okay.
And then we'll work harder so that it can be user-friendly and then very enjoyable for everyone.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you very much and have a great day.
Thank you so much, Michael, and thank you everyone joining today. Bye. Have a great day.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.